you are someone who loves working with people, is really passionate about sustainable development, about making long-term change, if you're someone that's really interested in human rights and advocacy, then this is the course for you.
In this video, we're talking about studying international development, and my guest is Georgia Kane. Georgia, thanks for joining me.
Hi, Paul. Thanks for having me.
I think this is a little bit of an interesting way to open a video because you're not in Australia where you're supposed to be studying. Tell me where you are right now.
No, that's right. I'm not in Australia. I'm currently living in Suva in Fiji.
Okay, tell me the story.
The reason why I'm currently over here is I was a 2023 New Colombo Plan scholar, and Fiji was my primary host destination of choice. And so I've embarked on my program, and I'm currently here, and I'm about to start undertaking a semester of study at the University of the South Pacific.
That's awesome. So being able to study in Fiji is actually something that's part of your international development degree. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Not specifically Fiji, but as part of the international development course, it's really critical to be able to develop your knowledge and critical perspectives and skills as a development practitioner. And so a really great way of doing that is through the International Development Immersion Program. So through my university, we do a 3 to 4 week development or humanitarian placement within a low-income or developing country. And so last year, the cultural immersion experience took place in Fiji. So I've already been here and now I've come back.
Incredible. Now, what does it mean to study international development? What's it like to be a student? And by that, I mean, what sort of classes do you take? Who do you think this course would really suit?
Absolutely. That's a great question. First of all, to answer the question about who the course might suit, if you are someone who loves working with people, is really passionate about sustainable development, about making long-term change, if you're someone that's really interested in human rights and advocacy, then this is the course for you. Throughout my degree, I have had a really great understanding and opportunity to study a variety of different subjects. So some of the absolute highlights of my course have been doing units in sustainable development, in climate change adaptability and resilience, as well as other units like humanitarian assistance and project management. They're some of the ones that you can take. And another really important focus as well is learning about Indigenous development and Indigenous humanitarian perspectives. So that's been a really, really great opportunity too.
Now that you're studying this, you're at uni and you're spending time with people who've worked in the field, so people who are studying, but also your academics, and you know about where this degree might lead. What are some of the career paths that somebody studying international development might end up in?
There's one thing I can say about international development practice. It's very broad in its scope and in its reach. And so even though you might be studying an international development degree, there are absolutely opportunities to be working in local and community development. And so, if this is a course that you are considering studying and pursuing, you might end up pursuing a career in a variety of fields, whether it be working for a non-government organisation, locally or internationally, a government service, or other human rights advocacy groups, as well as in other areas like charity and humanitarian organisations. You might end up working for an institution like the United Nations or one of the other international organisations like the World Bank. And you can work in a different variety of areas within that. So whether it be social entrepreneurship, human rights and advocacy, lots of different types of areas.
From what you've seen, do a lot of people start off with for an international development degree, and that might be a Bachelor of Arts. At some universities, it's a straight Bachelor of International Development, so it depends on which institution you're at. Have you seen a lot of people sort of starting at bachelors, and then as they find their interest areas or their passion areas, maybe they go on and do further study, they go on to do postgraduate, or they go and do, like you're doing, I mean, you're having an in-country experience. What's that kind of pathway look like before ending up in a career, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And as I mentioned earlier, because development practice is so broad, so are the pathways into finding out what it is that you're passionate about. So, for instance, at my university, even though I'm doing the Bachelor of International Development Studies as a standalone degree, the Bachelor of Arts program also offers development studies subjects and as a major and minor focus as well. Other students at different institutions also can pursue development studies within other similar streams of programs, but also at a postgraduate level. At that postgraduate level, there is greater opportunity to kind of specialize in a particular area of development focus, if you like, whether it be in advocacy or in monitoring and evaluation of projects, all different types of areas.
And you didn't have a straight line into this degree, did you? You sort of found your way into it.
Yeah, no, that's right. My trajectory throughout my tertiary studies definitely hasn't been linear. I previously started studying at university in an arts degree. And then after a year of that, which I wasn't entirely passionate about at the time, I then transferred into a double degree of public health and global studies at ACU. And then when the COVID pandemic happened and rolled around, there were a few elements of my course that I wasn't able to complete. And so I actually transferred into development studies, and it was the best thing that I did. And quite honestly, if I'd known about the degree's existence, I would have studied it right from the beginning.
So why do you think when you landed in that degree, you finally ended up in international development, why did that resonate so much with you? What is it about you that makes that really work?
And that's a big one, so I'll do my best to answer it. I think when I found myself in the position of transferring degrees, I had already done a few units within my public health and global studies degree that strongly aligned with development practice. So I'd done a number of units in health promotion as well as international governance and human rights policy and advocacy. And so I felt that there was this really strong pull towards this area, and I was really keen to explore more about development practice, particularly from local perspectives. So learning about localized practice and community-led solutions to community-led issues in ways that are long-term and sustainable. So that's sort of how I came to find myself within this degree initially, but it's expanded so much more beyond that in ways that I can't, appropriately articulate. Right from being able to work alongside quite cohesively with some of the industry's best professionals as academics, but also have multiple tangible opportunities to expand upon the knowledge learning inside the classroom and be able to apply it practically outside of that. That's probably been some of the biggest highlights of my course so far. And I'm lucky enough to actually already work within the sector. And so it's been a really great opportunity to be able to actually expand upon and deeply further enhance the knowledge that I've learned at uni through my current role. So that's been really exciting.
What I love about this degree, the International Development degree, is it's a program that is about people at its core. It's about helping people. It's about creating positive change in the world. And whilst there are opportunities to be theoretical about that, I love the fact that regardless of where you study this degree, it gives you the opportunity to make practical change in the world. So whether you end up at the United Nations or, as you were saying, in a community development group in Fiji or somewhere in Australia, this is somewhere where you can work with people and make real change.
Absolutely.
And I think and as you've said, I love the fact that these degrees give you the opportunity to go and to travel, to experience the world, to do internships, and to really get that hands-on experience. And I think the people that it suits, it's just it's like peanut butter and chocolate.
I don't really think there is a right expression until you experience it for yourself,
Absolutely. Awesome, Georgia. Now, last question for you. Thinking about ACU, excellent institution, one of the institutions that has some real specializations and does very well in terms of things like student experience. From your point of view, and you're at ACU in Melbourne, what makes ACU great?
That's a really great question, and there's so many potential answers I could give for you, but if there's one thing that I can really put it down to, if there's one particular word I'd have to use, it's people. The comments that you're making earlier about the degree being really people-focused and people-oriented, that goes beyond, just the course of my degree itself, but extends to ACU as an institution. They really place a really strong emphasis on people-to-people connections individually and being able to form those personal and professional relationships with really skilled, highly sought-after academics within various sectors on a one-to-one basis, I think provides a really great learning experience that you might not necessarily have had at another institution.
Awesome. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for your time.
No worries. Thank you so much for having me.
At Choosing Your Uni, our mission is to make finding your ideal institution and your degree fun, easy and stress-free. So if you're looking to save some time, to discover more, and to get personalised advice for every step of your journey, check out choosingyouruni.com. Our theme music is composed by Pasha Shogi and his band Flow, and this episode has been researched and constructed on Garigal land in Sydney. Until next time, have yourself an awesome day.